You've just stumbled upon
Okay, we
JK's
had to stop for a
rewatchable
minute
hour.
there for a commercial. We were hitting our time limit. But yeah, I thought because it was supposed to be a learning process and fun,
Yeah.
because starting the next year, a lot of these kids are going to be playing for a school
Mm.
and they got to be more serious.
Right.
Why not give them one last, fun year at
Yeah.
soccer?
Right.
And I'm not saying that being more serious and playing whatever sport it is you're playing for your school isn't supposed to be fun.
And you're looking out for the safety side of the player too.
Yeah.
You don't want
Right.
to pass out on the field because they're totally exhausted
Right,
for one
right.
goal.
Right. Oh, exactly. Like I literally had one girl who was great. It was probably 3 games in before I even knew that she had asthma because she was struggling at the end of the game. And she said, "Yeah." And she had said at one point during one of the practices that she had asthma. And I'm like, "Do you bring your inhaler?" And she goes, "Well, my mom has it." And I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "That's a prescription that needs to come to the field with you right at. We can leave it right on the bench. You can put it in the soccer bag."
Sure.
And it was like a completely different player. I mean, after each quarter, if she felt winded, she would take a hit
Yeah.
of her inhaler. Completely changed the game. I mean, she was one of my best players.
Players. Yeah.
After I realized, I mean, I had a girl in Little League. She was all right. She got, she hit the ball okay, and whatnot. She's one of those rare players. You see it with a lot of pitchers. Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds is right-handed.
But he bats left.
But he bats left.
Switch
But
it.
you know why he bats left? This is a rare fact. Do you know why he bats left?
Mm-hmm.
When they were kids, he has an older brother, and he would play baseball and backyard baseball with his older brother and all of his older brother's friends who were older than him. He would bat right-handed, and he was so much better than them at a younger age, they made him bat left-handed.
Left-handed.
And
Wow.
he got so good left-handed that became a normal for him when he got older. But you see pitchers do it a lot. I know Andy Pettit is a lefty, but bats right-handed. There's a couple other pitchers I know. Doesn't Randy Johnson bat right-handed, but he's a left-hander? I think. Yeah. There's several. And yeah. So she threw right-handed. So when she was standing by the plate, and her mother was there, but her father wasn't at the first games. And she's batting right-handed, and she's great in the field. She's great at throwing the ball, catching the ball. She just was not. She could make contact, but wouldn't do nothing. It wouldn't, Then her father was at one of the games. He had been working an off shift for a while, couldn't make the games. And then all of a sudden he went back to day shift and could make the games. And he walks up to me after her first at bat and he goes, "Why is she batting right-handed?" I'm like, "Isn't she right-handed?" And he goes, "Yeah, but she bats left-handed." I was like, "All right."
The way they want to be. Right.
Put her left-handed. The first at bat, she pulls it hard to right field, like 40 feet past the outfielder. I'm like,
wow. Holy cow.
Where did that come from?
Right.
This girl that was hitting to the back to the pitcher at best, a slow roller to third base or something. And now she's crushing the ball. I'm like,
yeah.
All right.
Didn't realize it. Yeah.
I didn't know. And her mother, I don't think her mother knew. Because she probably played catch and hit the ball and stuff with her father. Her mother just didn't know. She just thought that was natural because she throws righty. Why wouldn't she bat righty?
Tells you how much practice you're doing before you go.
And Actually, she's my cousin's daughter. There was this other girl that was my cousin's daughter, my cousin that passed away. Um, she she was ambidextrous.
Hmm.
When she would come one day, one night with a left-handed glove, and then the next week she'd come with the right-handed glove, and I'm like, you need to pick a freaking glove because I don't know
What you're doing?
which girl I'm getting today.
Yeah, right.
She was my cousin was in a car accident when her daughter was about 10 months old,
Hmm.
9 or 10 months old. And my cousin died in the car accident.
Hmm.
But her daughter was injured and she was actually in a upper body cast for about a year.
Oh.
So when she was out of the body cast, I think what it was is she started out right-handed, but her left hand was mobile sooner. So she started doing things with her left hand. But when she was completely out of the cast, she could use both hands to do anything. Now, obviously, being a righty, she didn't write. You know how a left-hander writes? How they curl their arm.
Yeah.
That's so they can see what they've written. Because a righty, you write it,
Right.
it's in front of the pen.
In front of the pen.
But if you do that left-handed, you're covering up what you just wrote. So they curl their hand. So obviously, when she wrote left-handed, she wrote like a righty left-handed.
Oh, right.
But she could write left-handed and she could write right-handed.
Wow.
And it was both legible.
Wow.
So yeah, she just, because of her being in a cast for so long and her left arm able to do more before her right arm, she learned to do things with her left arm as a young child.
Joe, yeah.
And then when she was out of the cast, could do it with both hands now.
Yeah.
So that's how she got that way. I mean,
yeah, they say that's how however you start out, that's how you end up being.
Yeah. Well, I know, like,
Something.
I remember I saw an interview with Bernie Williams. He's right-handed. He's right-handed, but he's a switch hitter.
Yeah.
He said, you know how he learned how to bat left-handed? Off a tee.
Oh, yeah.
Like T-ball.
Sure.
He said, I did that as an adult in college.
Yeah, that's how you learn.
I just hit off a tee, left-handed. And he became a switch hitter.
Switch hitter.
I mean,
yeah, it's pretty cool stuff.
I have one more story just so I can I wasn't always a petty coach, so it was just that one particular instance. Maybe another time. Right. So I on the last year I did have 2 all-stars. These 2 kids, it was a boy and a girl, they were just head and shoulders above, they were all-stars. They went on to have really good high school careers, I believe. And I was getting frustrated time and time again because people, I told everybody, no matter what you do with the ball, you have to make a soccer move. I don't care what you do. And because some of the kids were thinking that they were less of an individual compared to this other person, I got sick and tired of hearing that they won't be able to go by or beat so-and-so. And we thought he was injured, and they were like, oh, no, we can't do it without blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, my God, I just, like, okay, like, to me in my head, obviously, I'm like, the shit's got to stop. Well, he came back, everybody's like, oh. I'm like, wow. I'm like, one person does not make the team. So here's where the football guy in me came. So you know those bags, that they use for drills? I went and got 4 of them, and I lined them up, right? And I took the one kid aside, and I'm like, listen, I need you to do me a favor. I said, we need to just play a little bit of mind games here, just to get them over the hump of that you're superior. He's like, okay, what do you need me to do, coach? I said, the first couple of times that they dribble, I said, I want you to stop them in their track, no matter what. I don't care who it is. Even my kid, I don't care. He's going to do it no matter what, anyway, because it's only about this wide, right? I said, right. Third time, you need to fall for every ball fake, no matter what. I'm like, you need to put on a good show. And so, in U13, you have tall, you have whatever. I said, no matter what, I said, you do this. I'm like, it's going to catapult us into the next game. And so I got mad. I had my whistle. I'm like, all right. I said, it's football drill time. And they're like, what? I'm like, I said, I want everybody over here and I want, you here. I'm like, you do not let them go by you. I said, if you let them go by you, you are not starting the next game. Yeah, right. But that was another petty part.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Something. Yeah, that's what you're the coach for.
One of the better players, was very nervous, and she came up and boom, nailed her, right? Stopped her right dead in her track. I said, you got to, bad phrase. I'm like, you got to man up. It was just the competitiveness in me. And I'm like, you got to do it. I'm like, you got to make a soccer move. And he knew what I meant. So she came down and she head faked and he fell for it. Well, everybody's like, I'm trying to be nice how I said it. So it was a better player. I mean, it just is what it is. I mean, but everybody's like, oh my God. It wasn't until towards the end that some of the other kids were catching on. And I'm like, but what the reason why I did that was to make these kids believe that it doesn't matter what's in front of you or who's in front of you. If you believe in yourself, everything's possible. So come to the next game. Everybody was hyped up, and kids were doing what they should have been doing all along, and they were all happy. They were dribbling, they were passing, and they were all high fiving. So so that I just wanted to our listeners and viewers say like, "Wow, JW, you're a pretty petty fucking coach." But in another incident, I got everybody's belief up, and going to sports said, when you play sports, it's to have fun and to learn, and I wanted them to understand. And I'll never forget that day because some of the parents were like, after they caught on, they were like, they came up to me and they're like, "That's a great strategy. That was a great strategy, coach." And I'm like, let's just see how it goes. And it just carried over. But then the next week we just forgot it. Whatever. But
you're just trying to teach fundamentals.
Now, kind of a last note. Everybody knows how in baseball, every team used to do it. Now it's like we said, it's more. There's more. You have more great players on your team. But back in the day, the lineup would be your fastest guy, a decent hitter, then usually your best player would hit third, and then your power hitter would hit fourth. And then you get down to the end, and you'd always have mediocre players, 7, 8, and 9. I did it when I coached, and we did it on that softball team I was at because it worked so well when I coached. I would have a fast leadoff hitter when I coached. I would have my second fastest player hit last because I don't know how many times I was always a leadoff hitter. I don't know how many times the ninth batter, the 8th or 9th batter would get on base. I would get a great hit that for most people it would be a double, but I could normally stretch it for a triple. But I'm held to a double because I'm following a slow runner that didn't go home because he didn't have time. So I did that. Well, we did the same thing on that beer league I was in, where we put a fast player batting last in the lineup. So that way the leadoff batter wouldn't be slowed down by the batter on base. If that batter, the 8th or 9th batter got on base and they were really slow, you wouldn't be slowed up by them.
You split the rotation, basically.
Yeah, basically, because I didn't, I mean, like I said, I'd hit like shots into the gap where I could, it's a double, but I could stretch it to a triple, or it's a triple and I could stretch it to an inside the park home run.
Sure.
But I'm slowed up by the person who didn't pass third because they know they can't make it to home.
Right. Because they're slow.
So, yeah. So I did that. And then I brought it up to the team, and we kind of started doing that. There was a few times I wasn't leadoff batter. I was the last batter. You know, we did that sometimes. Sometimes I batted third. The only thing I told them, I'm not as much of a power hitter anymore. I said that, and then in the last season I played, I think I had a 3:00 game. I think our games were at 3:00. And when we played 2 games. You played a doubleheader against the same team. Your first game might be home and your second game might be away. But so you batted first in the first game, then you batted last in the second game.
Yeah.
I got called at noon because we did 8:00 or 9:00. We did 9:00, 12:00, and 3:00 were the game times. I got called at like 11 by another team, and they said, hey, we're a couple of guys short. Can you make it early? I know you play at 3. I'm like, well, I'm not doing anything. Let me get dressed. Now, I was here in Ovid, and I had to drive to Havana Glen.
Oh,
so they ended up, for the first game, they put me at the back of the lineup because they said, well, let's us play. We'll be the home team in the first game. No, we'll be the away team in the first game in case he's not here until, because he's on his way, and he texted me and he's close, but so I played on that team, and in
so the game was already going.
The game started, but literally I think they only got like 2 batters. They only got like 2 batters hit because they started at about 5 or 10 after 12.
Yeah.
It depends on when the first sets of games end. Sometimes they go over.
Yeah.
Like if you're tied at the end of 7, you have to play extra innings and whatnot.
Sure. Yeah.
But they went over a little. They started at like 10 after 12. I got there at like quarter after. So like only 2 batters got up. So it was okay.
Yep.
But in that set of games, I actually, for the first time, I always hit the ball well, and I always hit it to the outfield really well. But I would usually aim for the gaps or where people weren't. And I never, ever pull the ball. Because when I pull the ball, it hangs in the air.
Right.
So I would try to hit, like, I guess you would say, like, shortstop to right field.
Right field. Yeah.
From about shortstop to right field. But at Havana Glen, there's the fence that goes like 3/4 of the way around the field. It's not in left field. I mean, not in left field, but in like right, like left center over to right. And it's one of those 2-rung wooden fences. I laced one into the outfield, and I thought for sure it was going to be a ground rule double. It literally hit off the top of the fence and bounced back. I got a triple out of it, but I should have made it all the way to home.
Yeah.
I slowly went to first because, one of those stupid mistakes. Slowly ran to first because I thought for sure it was going under the fence or over the fence. Or over. It was either going to be a home run or a ground rule double. And it literally spiked the top of the fence and bounced back. So the outfielder was running toward it, and then all of a sudden the ball shot backward where it's past him.
Where did it get the ball when he threw the ball in the infield? Where did it get to the catcher or did it get to the pitcher? Where you stopped on third.
Usually you just throw once they throw it in and the base runner is clearly stopped.
Yeah.
They could send it to the pitcher, but
yeah.
There's I don't know if there was officially a rule, but obviously because it's slow pitch, you can't lead off, you can't steal, none of that.
Right.
So, which was fine. I mean, you can't leave the base until the ball makes contact with the bat. So,
really,
remember. Yeah, but other than that, all the rules are pretty much the same. The only difference was, and I've seen some leagues where they have a regular home plate, and the umpire has to call balls and strikes in like a normal strike zone.
Right.
But this league had the pad. Have you seen it? The pad behind home.
Oh no.
I have to find pictures of it. It's like if it lands on the plate or that pad, it's a strike.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's you got.
Oh, you know why? Is it because it's a co-ed league?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe.
I think so. I don't know. I've seen other leagues with it as well. But the league I played in when I was in the Army, it was like a regular strike zone. But we weren't allowed to throw it. Like the league I was in Hector, in Schuyler County, was there was no height limit to the pitch.
Oh, okay.
We had a couple of guys that would throw it like 20 feet in the air.
It's a crazy
And
game.
you'd have to watch it come almost straight down on top of you to determine is it a strike or a ball.
Yeah.
We had a height minimum. I think it had a minimum. It had to go over the heads of the average player. I mean, obviously, you can't say over the heads of all of the players because you might have 10 people that are playing that are under 6 foot, and you might have 1 or 2 guys that are like 6'5", 6'6".
That's right.
So over the average size player. So it might have been like 6 foot. Like you have to get it at least 6 foot off the ground.
Yeah.
If it's not, then it's a straight pitch and you're not allowed.
Not allowed. Right.
Yeah. But they literally had one pitcher that would throw it the minimum.
Mm-hmm.
I loved playing against him. I could do anything I wanted with that ball because there was no arc to it, really. Not after seeing that one go 20 feet in the air and come down all the top of my head. Now I'm seeing a ball come straight at me.
Cool sport. Yeah. Never played it, but my dad was awesome. Yeah.
It's fun. It's like I said. I mean,
my childhood.
I heard the Ithaca League is really competitive, but for the most part, they're not all that competitive. I mean, yeah, okay, you want to win, but you're just out to have fun. Let's have some fun. Gives you something to do on a Sunday.
Yeah, I think I said here on the show before, but my dad, it was a many champion coach, owner of teams. He's the one that created Union Fields in Ithaca. And
right.
Yeah, he's the commissioner of the Ithaca Slow Pitch for many years. And so I seen a lot, of games when I was younger. That was my childhood, hanging out with my dad at the softball fields.
All right.
Tournaments, and oh my God, it was the good old days, when he was a commissioner.
Yeah.
A lot of it's kind of neat to talk about some of this.
Yeah. There's not as many leagues around. I've actually heard that Geneva has a pretty decent one.
Yeah.
But they have 2 different levels. They have one where they literally, and I think they keep score, but it doesn't matter who wins. Everybody makes the playoffs. Everybody does, but then they have a slightly more competitive league. But I think one of the leagues is you field 10 players and half of them are female. So now you can bat them and you don't have to bat every other, but you put them in, you can bat them anyway, but you have to field 5 guys, 5 girls. But yeah.
When my dad originally got Union Fields made in Ithaca down there by the lake, his criteria of making those fields was he wanted 2 softball fields for the men's teams. He wanted a youth field in the back for the American Legion, Babe Ruth baseball. And then he wanted the other field in the backside for women softball. So at any given time, there was 4 games going on at one time.
Oh yeah.
This was back in the 70s, 80s. They had like 80 some teams.
Yeah, when I played in the league when I was in Texas, when I was in the Army.
Yeah.
Fort Bliss has a clover field.
Huh.
4 fields where home plate is probably where the 4 home plates are probably 20 feet apart.
Oh, okay.
So, but you hit away from each other, obviously. But
Oh,
yeah, they have a clover field there.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's kind of what Ithaca is. That's what Union Fields
Yeah.
is. Well,
Yeah.
but I mean, it was awesome though. I had so many good childhood.
Yeah.
I was, there's days I have bad days, and I go down and sit there at the ballpark, and
Yeah.
all days, and it's
Oh yeah.
it's
Yeah,
sad.
that's what they would do. I mean, sometimes we would have more fans than players at the field. Just watching, it's something fun to watch, I mean,
I remember there was field or there was cars back in the day when it was good, when my dad was a commissioner and all the things were going well and the teams were good. They had people parked all the way from Ithaca in the city, all the way down the 89 Boulevard, all the
oh
way
yeah.
to Hangar Theater on both sides of the road, and all the parking lots were filled.
Yeah.
The good old days in the 80s.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah, when I remember when I was like a teenager or whatever, young teenager, maybe not even a teenager completely.
Right.
My uncle, he lived up near Cortland, but he played in a church league.
Yeah.
And that was always fun to watch. Every time we went up there, we watched. We went into his games and whatnot, and they were just fun to watch.
Yeah. They would all come to the city. That's where he had a lot of teams from the churches, from just other organizations, Ira, Cortland, all of them.
Yeah. Now the difference in that league was you could bunt. You could bunt.
Oh.
Most leagues you can't bunt.
Can't bunt.
In slow pitch.
Being in slow pitch, though.
Yeah.
I know, right? But they didn't do the high pitch. They weren't allowed the high pitch in that league.
The high arc, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's different rules for tournament play and then league play and
Oh yeah, I'd love to do something like that again, but it'd have to be a really non-serious league.
Yeah.
And
that was a time when we actually had a referee that was on the Ron Sterling show. The the show that what do they call it? I'm drawing a blank. I'm talking about Ron Sterling, the
Twilight Zone.
Yeah, Twilight Zone. Yeah, right. One of the guys that was on that show was one of the umpires that used to umpire in
nice.
League. During the summer. He would come over from the West Coast, from the movies and stuff, and I don't remember his name. Voice.
Didn't the Twilight Zone started in Ithaca?
Yep. Yeah, and he lived right. Ron Sterling lived in Ithaca, right?
Yeah.
But
like a lot of shows started in Ithaca.
Yeah. You wouldn't think though somebody from that show would be at a softball umpire.
I know.
League, basically. It's like my dad would introduce me to him. He's like, "Yeah, this is so and so. He's from the Twilight Zone." I'm like, "What the heck?"
What?
Freaky voice though, man. He had a really spooky kind of voice.
Nice.
So, I think we broke our own record. So we've gone an hour and a half.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to make this a 3-parter. Our editing team. So George, if you would, why don't you take us out?
All right. Well, tonight we had something planned, and with the lack of people, we decided to change it. And I think we touched a lot of different things. I mean, we talked about pro sports, we talked about youth sports, and we ended up talking about different softball leagues that we've seen or had people play on, and I think we turned it into something out of nothing. And because I only had a short little idea of four strange facts about sports, and we turned it into a whole show. So I think we did well. I know hopefully next week we might be without our regular host. I'm going to be without a regular host, and we're still going to run a show. I'm not sure what we're doing next week, but I'll figure that out. I have a week to figure it out. And then in 2 weeks, I'm hoping to get enough people, and we're going to do another episode of Who Said It, Who Done It.
Sounds good.
There we go.
Yeah. Good job, George. Good job, Jeff. It's a great show.
Yeah. Great show.
Where it would all lead, but it was great. I enjoyed it. I can't wait to watch this and edit it and add some little blooper reels. So this was fun. I appreciate it. Great topic, George. I like how just before I go, I like how, like, we have an idea, but it doesn't really work, and we just throw something together. George, you went from baseball to softball to youth sports, so very much
Yeah.
appreciate it. It was good to see you guys again. I know last week, Kirk, you weren't on, but I had major technical difficulties. It kicked my ass, so it was bad. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes that's it's part of the business.
Yeah.
and I'm going to stop recording, and I'm going to end everything so I can get it downloaded and get it over to our editing department, wherever. So wherever. Listen, George, thanks for host. Oh, hey,
Yep.
Jesus, hold on, fat finger again. Hold on, bear with me. Okay, there we are. You're back. So, but I love you guys. So hold on.
Yeah.
Eh.